Wow, is this the most striking railroad in America? Enjoy this intro and be the judge. This is the Cane Creek branch near Moab, Utah on the Union Pacific Railroad. In this first shot, we enter Bootlegger Canyon. The train is exiting the Moab Tunnel, which is just barely out of view here. This is the once-a-week Union Pacific Potash local train. I was hoping to get a view of the portal itself, but couldn't get positioned for that. This is west of Moab, but Moab is not actually a location on the timetable. This is technically just south of the railroad location called MK. This section of the Cane Creek branch sits between Arches and Canyonlands National Parks. Now in view up to the left is the Corona Arch, one of the many magnificent rock formations in this region. The Bowtie Arch is also here, almost not visible at this angle. It's a straight upward facing hole in the rock. Subscribe and give a like if you're enjoying so far. Here, on this side of this huge cut, the trail to the Corona Arch crosses the railroad. Some hikers and the parking lot can be seen. Again, this train only runs once a week, normally on Fridays, and is the only train to run this section of the line. It's extremely fortunate that it's at least a predictable one to catch. This is where the line begins to parallel the Colorado River for just a few miles before the end of the branch. A couple miles farther along the line, continuing along the river. The slow chase is nice for the fact that it's easy to shoot the train in multiple locations close together. The black SUV on the road here was a group of rail fans who were also shooting the train. The jug handle arch is another unique rock formation here. I spoke with those rail fans briefly at one point. They also were flying drones and had 3 or 4 in the air here as one of them was driving. You might see them in view shortly. Those same rail fans in the shot here, they were from all different places on the east side of the states. Milepost 35 is the last on the line. This is at Intrepid Potash, Moab, which is the only customer this train services. It's a full day for the crew of this train to get here and head back the other way. They originate in Grand Junction, Colorado in the morning and make a sprint here to this facility. They don't spend too much time here before they start heading back to Grand Junction. I am just absolutely blown away by how vibrant all the layers are in the rock here. No special editing or saturating of the colors. They would uncouple the power here and leave these cars, then head back north to pick up a string of cars that are ready to go. A closer look at the facility and the surrounding area while the power moves to pick up the cars. Quite a breathtaking region all around in my opinion, easy to just gaze around for some time. The cars in the shot here are what they will pick up and take back to Grand Junction. It appears that the Potash facility has its own trackmobile to shuffle cars around, which just leaves the UP to spot and pick up cars while they are here. The Cane Creek branch is actually not very old. It was built by the Rio Grande in 1963 specifically to service this potash facility, a tradition that is still carried on by the Union Pacific. It was also great to catch this pair of SD70M units. This type of locomotive is getting more and more uncommon to see. I rarely film switching work like this, but the surrounding area was just too good to not take advantage of for as long as I could film. Just a few more moments of enjoying the area here before we begin chasing the train back. All aired up and ready to go, they begin back north. I am calculating just over a 1,000 foot elevation difference from the rails to the top of the rocks here. Less than a mile ahead, we continue the chase, coming up on the jug handle arch once again. A few miles farther north, still slowly rolling along the huge rock walls. Even captured the moon in some shots as well. What a magnificent set of scenes through and through. Still almost can't believe I was fortunate enough to go and film this section of railroad. Ground shots do give a bit better perspective of how grand in size this all is. Heading back through the cut that will bring them into Bootlegger Canyon here, I believe the people in the shot here up above everyone else on the rocks was that same group of rail fans from earlier. They'll soon pass back through the Moab tunnel. On the other side of the tunnel a little ways north, we are north of Moab and MK in one of the last sections of striking scenery. I've just got to mention how extremely pleased I was with how the Mavic 3 performed here in bringing out so much color and detail from all this shadowed rock. This cut they're entering is about the most impressive I think I've ever seen in person. The La Salle Mountains can be seen in the distance. This is the last look at the Potash local for the video, but I've got a short bonus for you to wrap things up. Some of my regular viewers will recognize this last part from my previous video. Still on the Cane Creek branch, a little farther north from the last location of the Potash local, is a look at the Rocky Mountaineer heading north. This is at the railroad location of 7 Mile, which is the westmost terminus of the Rocky Mountaineer. For more detailed info on this special train, you can check the link in the description for my video specifically featuring this train and what it's about. This was taken the day before the Potash local run. I'm a huge fan of this paint scheme, and the red rocks just make it pop even more than it already does. A bit farther north on the branch, Coming up on the railroad location of Brendel, which is where the Cane Creek branch connects with the Union Pacific's Green River subdivision. I hope you enjoyed this journey of what I believe to be the most striking piece of railroad in America. It doesn't get any better than this, but I hope you'll still enjoy my content that comes after this. Thanks for watching.